So Donald Trump is once again backing out of trade negotiations with Canada, and he's saying, "Well, they're using AI to go after me, and it's not a real clip," and he's pissed off. Well, why is Donald Trump mad? Because they shared clips of a speech in an anti-tariff ad and again in an anti-Donald Trump ad, where Reagan is talking about how you can't use tariffs as a good economic policy worldwide. They work fine in targeted areas. If you're really trying to focus on maybe one thing, you could maybe use tariffs to actively make change and help build things up here, in one industry. But you can't just sit there and use it as a weapon. You end up with what we have. You end up with things like China saying, we're not going to buy any soybeans from you. And they canceled $20 billion of purchases. You go tariffs on, tariffs off in all, against all countries across the world because you don't like how the economy is working out, or it doesn't work out fair the way you think it should because you don't understand it. And by putting in all these tariffs, you are actively wrecking everything. Now, Reagan had some comments back in the 80s about tariffs and basically said you can't do what Donald Trump is doing with tariffs, and anybody who thinks that way would be a fool. And Donald Trump is all pissed. Of course, he's claiming it's AI, it's not a real clip. But now that he's mad at Canada again, he's stopping negotiations. Well, here's the thing. He shouldn't be negotiating with Canada for trade anyway. He shouldn't have to. We had the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, which was 0% tariffs on basically everything coming in from Canada to the United States, everything going from the United States to Canada. It was fair. Donald Trump didn't think it was fair, and he thought it was the worst negotiated trade deal he'd ever seen. Except here's the thing. He negotiated it. That was the trade deal he signed during his first term after he backed us out of NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement that Bill Clinton put us in. And basically all the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement was NAFTA with a new name. There were some small tweaks in there, but for the most part, all of the main things were the same. And Donald Trump got to claim victory. He got to say he did something and made this thing. And now, 5 years later, he is saying, it's the worst deal we've ever seen. He doesn't even remember that he signed it. And now that they're pissing him off and hurting his little feelings with this ad where they're pointing out what Reagan said about tariffs, it's making him look dumb, which is easy to do. It's hurting Donald's feelings, so he doesn't want to talk and he doesn't want to negotiate.